Hello and welcome to lesson 5.04, volumes of prisms and cylinders, part 2. So this is really mostly just focused on cylinders today. Okay, and you'll notice that the problems 13 through 29 odd on page 435 of the textbook is the problem set for today. Okay, first I wanted to mention something about exact versus approximate. Pi is an irrational number. Hopefully you guys remember that. So technically speaking, you can only approximate it. If you leave pi, the actual symbol, in the answer, then it makes the answer exact because then you're saying the entire irrational number pi. Once you replace it with 3.14, you have turned it into an approximation. Now, for real life things, the approximation is more useful than the pure, exact mathematical answer. So it's good for you to understand that most of you, if you go into a field, a career that would use these kinds of formulas, you probably will use 3.14 or 3.14 with more decimal places to make it more accurate. But if you were to go into a field like pure mathematics, like, for myself, I have a mathematics degree, you would prefer to use pi because it's mathematically more correct and more beautiful. You're going to be, during this lesson here, we're going to be doing a lot of approximation. Be sure that you use proper rounding procedures when you do that. Okay, so here's one. And this, remember, these are just like what's in the problem set. Okay, so we're going to find the exact volume, find the approximate volume, and then round to 3 places. So we're going to find the exact volume first. First, we need to remember what our formula is for the volume of a cylinder. So hopefully you remember. The volume of a cylinder was the area of the base, which is going to be pi r squared. Hold on one second while I insert my pi symbol. Okay, so it's pi r squared times the height. That was the volume formula for the cylinder. So we're starting with that, so then volume is still, I'm going to try to make things easier on myself here. Here we go. It's still pi. The radius here, oh, right there. See how it says radius equals 7 centimeters, so the radius is 7, so 7 squared, and actually I should put times 7 squared, times the height, which is 2.5. So volume equals, again I'm going to leave the pi there, 7 squared is 49, so it'll be 49 times 2.5. So again, pi times, now 49 times 2.5. I'm going to use my calculator to do that a little faster. 122.5. So if we're going to give this as an exact answer, we usually write the pi behind the number, like this. It's just one of those things where it's just polite to write it that way. Remember that we need the units. It's volume, so it would be centimeters cubed. Okay, and that's because radius times height. That was 3 things that got multiplied together. All of them had a unit of centimeters. So here is our exact volume. Our exact volume is 122.5 pi centimeters cubed. Now to find the approximate volume, all I need to do is just take that 122.5 and multiply by 3.14 by our approximate value of pi. And when I do that, I get, so in my calculator I'm now multiplying by 3.14, and I go 384.65 centimeters cubed. Now it said to round to 3 places. This is a funny thing. I don't actually have 3 places, so I don't really need to round. I can just leave it like this because there is nothing more. So that's good. So right here, this is the answer for A. Oh, this doesn't have a highlighter. How annoying. Oh well. So this is the answer for part A, and this right here is the answer for part B. Okay, here's another problem. A cylindrical water tower has a radius of 5 meters and a height of 9 meters. Find the approximate volume using 3.14 for pi. So this time we're not asking for the exact value, which means we're going to go ahead and substitute in that 3.14 for pi pretty much right away. So it's still pi r squared is our formula times height. Whoops. There we go. Still same formula because we're still doing the volume of a cylinder. So it has a radius. Well, first of all, we're using 3.14, so we're going to put that in there. 3.14 times radius is 5 meters, so we'll be doing 5 squared, times the height of 9 meters. So volume equals 3.14 times 25, because 5 squared is 25, times 9. So volume equals 3.14 times 25 times 9, which is 225. And now I'm going to multiply the 3.14. You might notice that I chose to multiply the 25 and the 9 first instead of multiplying the 3.14. That's because I like to keep the whole numbers as long as possible. So 706.5. And then the units would be, I look into the problem and I say, what were the units? The units were meters. So it's meters cubed. So there we are. Okay, here's another one. The volume of the cylinder is about 70 cubic inches. The radius of the cylinder is 3 inches. What is the height of the cylinder? So this one is unusual in that they have not given us the height and the radius. They've actually given us the volume. So we're solving for the height. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write down what I know. I know that the volume is 70 cubic inches. So I'm going to write 70 inches cubed because I know that. Now I know that the radius, radius is equal to 3 inches. And what I don't know is the height. But I do know the formula. Volume equals pi r squared times the height, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in what I have. Now, the answer, the final answer here, the volume is 70, which means they have used an approximation for pi. So I can assume that it's going to be 3.14 again. So what I'm going to do here is just plug in what I know. I know that the volume is 70. I know that pi is approximately 3.14. The radius, I know that the radius is 3. So radius squared. And then the height. I do not know the height. So I'm going to have to keep the variable for that because I don't know it. Now that I've done that, what I need to do is simplify as much as I can. I'm not going to move anything from side to side until I have both sides as simplified as possible. 70 is as simple as it gets. Here I have 3.14 times 9 times h. Now I'm going to start running out of space here, so maybe I'll go back. And 3.14 times 9 is 28.26. So 28.26 h there. So what I've got is that 70 is equal to 28.26 h. So I'm going to divide both sides by that 28.26. Now, unfortunately, I still have to type because I haven't installed my new version of PowerPoint yet, so hopefully soon I'll have time to do that. Whoops, not by h. So I'm dividing both sides by 28.26. I guess I could put this a little nicer. Hold on. Let me clean it up for you. All right. And how's that? Does that make it a little clearer for you to actually write it as division bars, I hope?
There you go.
Let's see, I can even make those prettier. You like some pretty division bars? There you go. That looks much nicer, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by 28.26 to get everything, to get the h alone, to get everything on one side. So having done that, I'm going to go 70 in my calculator. 70 divided by 28.26. I get 2.476999. I'm going to write extra decimal places so that you guys get to see how I'm going to round this. Since the other problem we had asked me to round to the nearest 3 places, I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one too. So I get 2.4769999292 equals h. So then to round this to 3 places, I'm going to say, okay, 2.47. Now the third place here is the 6. But I look at that and I go, well, hold on a second. The 6 is great. Okay, wonderful. We have a 6 there. But what's after the 6? There's a 9 here after the 6. So since there's a 9 after the 6 gets rounded up to a 7. And then I'm going to say, wait a second, I need to put the units in there. It was inches we were working with. So 2.477 inches would be the height. Okay. So hopefully this helps you guys to see how you're going to go about doing those problem set problems. Please do make sure right now to sit down and do these problem set problems. Work them out. Don't forget to check your answers. You know, the key is in the online lesson. So you could actually even check to make sure that you have the right answers. So please do make sure to do that before taking the quiz, and good luck.